Ladies and gentlemen, time is the most precious resource you have. Unlike money or material possessions, once time is spent, it can never be replenished. Yet so many people waste their time without realizing the enormous value it holds. If you truly want to succeed in life, if you want to reach your fullest potential, you must master the art of managing your time wisely. Think about it, you're given the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else. What separates the successful from the mediocre is not talent or intelligence, but how they choose to spend their time. Today, I want to talk to you about how to spend your time wisely, how to make every moment count, and how to build a life of success and fulfillment. Understand that time is your most valuable asset. Everything else in life, money, relationships, even opportunities, can be replaced or regained. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. So treat it with the respect it deserves. Invest your time in activities that align with your goals. We all have dreams, but dreams are only dreams unless we take the time to act on them. Don't let distractions steal away your precious time. If it's not bringing you closer to where you want to be, don't give it your attention. Learn to prioritize. You can't do everything, and that's okay, but you must learn how to say no to things that don't matter. The power of a strong no is often greater than the power of a weak yes. Master this, and you'll instantly improve your productivity in your life. Schedule your day with intention. Successful people don't just show up and see what happens. They have a plan. They know exactly how they're going to spend their time, and they do it with purpose. Build a daily routine that includes time for work, rest, and growth. You're not just filling your day, you're shaping your future. Focus on growth. Every minute you spend should move you closer to the person you want to become. Spend time reading, learning, developing new skills, and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you. Time invested in personal development is the best investment you can make. Don't let procrastination rob you. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to act. Procrastination is the thief of time. If you want to be successful, develop the habit of taking action, even when it's uncomfortable. The more you do, the more you become. Make time for reflection. At the end of each day, take a moment to review how you spent your time. Did you get closer to your goals? Were there opportunities you missed? Reflection helps you learn from your mistakes and do better tomorrow. Without this, you're just drifting, and success doesn't come from drifting. Time is your most valuable asset. There's nothing more precious in life than time. It's the one resource you can never get back once it's gone. Every moment you waste, you can't earn it back, no matter how hard you work or how much money you make. You see, time doesn't care about your circumstances or your desires. It moves forward, whether you're ready for it or not. The clock keeps ticking. So the real question is, how are you spending your time? Think about it for a moment. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but it's how we use those hours that determines the quality of our lives. What separates the successful from the average is not the amount of time they have, but how they choose to spend it. The richest people in the world, the most fulfilled individuals, are not the ones who have more time. They are the ones who understand the value of time and use it wisely. Now, you might be wondering why time is so crucial. It's because time shapes everything. It shapes your health, your relationships, your career, your dreams. Time is the one thing that once it's gone can never be regained. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose a relationship and rebuild, but once time passes, it's gone. Think about how many opportunities you've missed because you didn't use your time effectively. How many moments did you let slip away, waiting for the right time to act, only to find that time had moved on without you? It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, in the endless chase for success, and forget to recognize the value of every single moment. But you have to remember, time is not an infinite resource. You need to ask yourself every day, am I using this time in the best way possible? Is this time invested in something that will move me closer to my goals? If you're not asking yourself these questions, you're letting time slip away without realizing it. Successful people are not any more fortunate than you when it comes to time. They've just made a decision to treat it with the highest level of respect. They understand that what they do with their time today shapes their tomorrow. They don't wait for time to manage them, they manage their time. And you can do the same. You must approach your time with a sense of urgency and purpose. The way you spend your time today will determine where you are tomorrow. So I urge you to take a step back and consider how you're using your time. Are you wasting it on things that don't matter? Are you filling your days with distractions or focusing on things that align with your deepest values and most important goals? Time is a gift, and it's a gift you don't want to waste. When you recognize time as your most valuable asset, you'll begin to treat it with the seriousness it deserves. And that shift will set the foundation for everything you want to accomplish in life. The real question is not how much time you have, but how you're choosing to spend the time you do have. Time is the only thing in this world that once it's gone, you can never get back. So use it wisely. Be intentional. Make every moment count. If you want to build the life of your dreams, you must first understand this simple truth: what you invest your time in determines your future. Time is a currency, and just like any other form of currency, it can be spent or invested. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who don't often comes down to one thing: what they choose to invest their time in. Look around you. How many people spend their time on things that don't move them closer to their goals? How many people waste hours on activities that don't serve them in any way? It's easy to fall into the trap of doing things simply because they're easy or because they fill up the time. But time spent on the wrong things is time you'll never get back. And it doesn't move you any closer to the person you want to become or the life you want to create. You cannot afford to waste even one precious minute on things that don't align with your values, your goals, or your vision. The real key to success is making sure that every minute of your day is intentionally aligned with where you want to go. You have to invest your time in the activities that move you toward your goals. It's not enough to simply be busy. You need to be busy with purpose. Ask yourself, does this activity get me closer to my goals? Does it help me grow into the person I want to become? When you're clear about where you're headed, the decisions about where to spend your time become much easier. If your goal is to get in shape, you don't spend hours watching TV or eating junk food. If your goal is to build a successful business, you don't waste time on distractions. You create a plan and you dedicate your time to the actions that bring you closer to that goal. You invest your time in learning, in improving your skills, in networking, in taking consistent action that moves the needle forward. Successful people don't just fill their day with activity, they fill their day with purposeful activity. They know that every minute counts, and they use their time as a tool to construct the future they desire. They don't let themselves get sidetracked by the trivial things that won't make a difference in the long run. And you have to do the same. Let's be clear, your goals are not going to happen by accident. You can't just wish for them, hope for them, or expect them to come to you while you're waiting around. Your goals are achieved by investing your time in the right actions day in and day out. You have to make deliberate choices with your time and stop letting distractions rule your day. There will always be things that pull you in different directions, people asking for your time, opportunities that look shiny but aren't really what you need, and 1,000 small things that seem urgent but aren't important. The challenge is learning to say no to those things that don't align with your goals and saying yes to the things that do. Every hour you spend working on your craft, every moment you spend learning and growing, every action you take that moves you closer to your goals is an investment in your future success. But just as you wouldn't invest your money in something risky without considering the return, you shouldn't invest your time in things that don't offer a return either. Time invested in personal growth, in relationships that nurture you and tasks that push you forward, is never wasted. Every moment is a building block, a small step toward a future that reflects your deepest desires. So make it a habit to evaluate how you're spending your time. Are your daily activities aligned with your long-term vision? Are you investing your time wisely, or are you letting it slip through your fingers on distractions and empty pursuits? The most successful people understand that their time is their greatest asset, and they spend it only on things that align with their bigger picture. Remember, time is the only resource you have that, once spent, can never be replenished. Don't squander it on things that don't matter. Invest it in the activities, people, and pursuits that will bring you closer to the life you want to live. Time invested in the right things is never wasted. It's an investment in your future, one that will pay dividends for years to come. So choose wisely. Make every moment count. Your future is being built moment by moment right now. In life, you are going to face a constant flow of opportunities, distractions, demands, and pressures. Everyone has 1,000 things competing for their attention: family, friends, work, hobbies, the constant pull of the digital world, and the list goes on. But here's the truth you need to understand: you can't do everything. If you try to do it all, you'll end up doing very little well, and ultimately you'll end up spinning your wheels. The key to success is learning how to prioritize, the ability to determine what's truly important, what deserves your time and energy, and what doesn't. Prioritization isn't just about making a list and checking things off. It's about understanding that every decision you make about where to invest your time directly impacts your future. If you spend your time on the wrong things, you're not only wasting precious hours, you're delaying your progress and setting yourself back from reaching your full potential. But if you learn to prioritize, you can move forward with focus and purpose, making meaningful strides toward your goals every day. The first step in prioritizing is being honest with yourself about what really matters. Ask yourself, what are the most important things in my life right now? What is most aligned with my long-term vision and my values? What activities are bringing me closer to the person I want to become and the life I want to build? If you're not clear about what your priorities are, everything will seem important, and before long, you'll find yourself pulled in every direction. But when you're clear on your priorities, you'll know where to focus your energy and you'll stop wasting time on things that don't move you forward. Once you've identified what's important, it's time to let go of the rest. That means learning to say no to things that, while they may seem urgent or appealing in the moment, don't contribute to your goals. It's about being willing to disappoint others or disappoint yourself in the short term to stay focused on what will serve you in the long term. This can be one of the hardest lessons to learn, but it's a game changer. You can't be everywhere at once, and you can't do everything for everyone. The power of saying no is sometimes greater than the power of saying yes. When you say no to the unimportant, you free up time and energy for the things that truly matter. A key part of prioritization is also learning how to allocate your time in a way that maximizes your productivity. You need to know when you do your best work. For some people, that's early in the morning. For others, it's late at night. But regardless of when you're most focused and energized, you must prioritize your most important tasks during that time. This is about using your most productive hours to tackle the big, high-leverage activities that move you toward your goals. Don't waste your prime time on low-value tasks. If something can wait, let it wait. If it doesn't align with your bigger vision, let it go. Another part of prioritization is being willing to make sacrifices. Success requires trade-offs. You might have to sacrifice a little bit of comfort or leisure to stay focused on the things that will bring you closer to your goals. But those sacrifices are temporary and they will pay off in the long run. The key to balancing priorities is knowing what's worth sacrificing now for the benefit of a better tomorrow. You'll also need to recognize that your priorities will shift over time. What's important to you at one stage in life may not be as important later on. As your career grows, your relationships evolve, and your goals change, your priorities should evolve with them. The ability to adapt and reevaluate your priorities as you move through different phases of life is a sign of wisdom and maturity. Ultimately, learning to prioritize is about understanding that your time is finite. You can't afford to waste it on things that don't matter. Every time you choose to spend your energy on one thing, you're choosing not to spend it on something else. The people who achieve great success and fulfillment are the ones who get good at this, who learn how to cut through the noise and focus on what matters most. They understand that success doesn't come from doing more, but from doing the right things at the right time. When you prioritize effectively, you gain clarity, direction, and focus, and you can begin to make real progress toward your dreams. So make it a habit to regularly check in with your priorities. Are you focusing on the things that truly matter? Are you spending your time on activities that align with your vision and your values? Or are you allowing distractions to pull you away from your goals? Take the time to reevaluate your priorities frequently and adjust as needed. The better you get at prioritizing, the more you'll accomplish, the more you'll enjoy the journey, and the faster you'll get to where you want to go. Scheduling your day with intention is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. Most people wake up in the morning and react to whatever comes their way, responding to messages, meetings, and emergencies as they appear. But if you're serious about achieving your goals, creating the life you want, and using your time effectively, you can't afford to leave your day to chance. The people who are successful, the ones who seem to have it all together, are not simply reacting to life, they are designing it. They've made the choice to schedule their day with intention, and that choice makes all the difference. The first step in scheduling your day is realizing that time is not an endless resource. Every hour, every minute is valuable. How you use that time will determine what you achieve, and ultimately who you become. Think about it. No matter how much money you make, no matter how many connections you have or how much talent you possess, if you waste your time, none of that matters. Time is the great equalizer. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The question is, how will you use them? To schedule your day with intention, you must first get clear on what matters most to you. This starts by setting your priorities. What are the few key things that, if you focus on them today, will bring you closer to your goals? Too often, people try to do everything. They become overwhelmed by a long list of tasks, and before they know it, the day is gone and they've accomplished little. This happens because they didn't identify what was truly important. If you don't set priorities and focus on what moves you forward, you'll get lost in the noise of daily distractions. Once you know your priorities, the next step is to block out time for them. I'm talking about intentional time blocks in your day. Take your most important tasks and assign them specific periods of time. For example, if you know that writing a report or preparing for a meeting is essential, don't just think, I'll get to it sometime today. That's a recipe for procrastination. Instead, block out a specific window of time, say 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and commit to working on that task during that period. When you have a dedicated time for the important things, you're far more likely to follow through. Scheduling with intention means you're not leaving anything to chance. Your day doesn't just happen, it is planned. And it's not about filling up your calendar with as many activities as you can. It's about filling it with the right activities. Every day should be a series of intentional steps that move you closer to your bigger goals. This could mean scheduling time for deep work, focused, undistracted work on the most important projects. It could mean blocking time for personal development, like reading or learning something new that will improve your life. Or it could mean scheduling time to nurture the relationships that matter most to you. But here's the thing, you must also schedule time for rest. People often think that success comes from working non-stop, from burning the candle at both ends. But that's a recipe for burnout, not achievement. To perform at your best, you need to recharge. So part of scheduling with intention is recognizing when you need to take a break and allowing yourself that time. Schedule downtime. Schedule time for exercise, for eating right, for taking care of your mental and physical well-being. Without this balance, your ability to be productive and make meaningful progress will diminish over time. Another key element of scheduling with intention is flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and things won't always go according to plan. But when you've designed your day with intention, you'll find that you have a clear framework that allows you to adapt and stay on track. If something unexpected comes up, you can adjust your schedule while still making sure that the most important things are taken care of. The more intentional you are with how you spend your time, the more room you have for unexpected opportunities without losing sight of your goals. One of the most effective ways to begin scheduling with intention is to plan the night before. Before you go to bed, take 10 to 15 minutes to outline your day for tomorrow. Review your goals, determine what the most important tasks are, and set time blocks for those. This simple habit of planning ahead will give you a roadmap for your day, and when you wake up, you'll know exactly what needs to be done. This approach eliminates the guesswork and procrastination that often arises when you try to figure out what to do in the morning. And finally, as you go through your day, learn to track your time. At the end of each day or week, take a moment to reflect. Did you follow your schedule? What went well? Where did you get off track? Tracking your time isn't about beating yourself up. It's about learning from your actions and fine-tuning your approach. The more you track your time and stay intentional with your schedule, the better you'll get at maximizing your productivity and moving toward your goals. So start today. Take control of your time and design your day with intention. If you do this consistently, you will see dramatic improvements in your productivity, your results, and the quality of your life. Your time is precious, and how you use it is your choice. Don't leave it to chance. Decide how you're going to spend it and make every moment count. When you schedule your day with intention, you're not just managing your time, you're creating the life you want. If you want to truly elevate your life, if you want to move beyond the ordinary and step into the extraordinary, you must develop a relentless focus on growth. Growth isn't something that just happens by accident. It's a deliberate, continuous process that you must actively pursue every single day. The people who achieve success, the ones who build businesses, the ones who create remarkable lives, they're not just lucky or born with special gifts. They've chosen to focus on growth, and they do so with intention and discipline. Here's the reality: you can never reach your full potential if you're not growing. The world around you is constantly changing, and to keep up, you need to be evolving as well. Whether it's your skills, your mindset, or your ability to adapt to new situations, growth is what keeps you moving forward. Without it, you stagnate. And when you stagnate, you start to fall behind. The key to success is to be in a constant state of improvement, always learning, always growing, always challenging yourself to become better than you were yesterday. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. No one else can control your growth but you. You must be the one to choose what you learn, how you improve, and how you expand your abilities. Look at your current situation. Where are you today? Are you satisfied with where you are? Are you happy with the progress you've made so far? If not, it's time to make growth a priority. You must first understand that growth doesn't just happen when you're comfortable. It happens when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Growth is born in the uncomfortable, in the challenges and the obstacles that force you to think bigger and act bolder. A focus on growth means that you are never satisfied with mediocrity. You know that complacency is the enemy of success, and you're determined to be better than you were yesterday. You seek out opportunities to learn and to improve. That could be through reading books, attending seminars, taking courses, or simply seeking out the best people to learn from. There is no such thing as knowing enough or being good enough in a world that's constantly evolving. The moment you stop learning, you start losing. To grow, you must be willing to embrace failure. Failure is not the end, it's part of the process. Every successful person has experienced failure, and it's through failure that growth happens. Failure teaches you lessons you can't learn anywhere else. It reveals your weaknesses, highlights where you need to improve, and pushes you to be more creative in your solutions. The key is not to be afraid of failure, but to welcome it as a sign that you're pushing your limits and stepping outside your comfort zone. When you focus on growth, you understand that failure is simply feedback, valuable information that tells you how to adjust your approach and keep moving forward. Another important part of growth is self-discipline. It's one thing to say you want to grow, but it's another thing to actually do the work. Discipline is what keeps you on track when motivation wanes. Discipline is the difference between saying, I want to be successful, and actually doing the things that make success a reality. Growth requires consistent effort. It's the small, disciplined actions done over time that add up to big results. So don't just talk about growth, make it a habit. Read every day. Work on improving your skills every day. Spend time developing yourself in ways that challenge you to be better than you were the day before. This is the daily grind that most people are unwilling to do, but it's the key to extraordinary progress. Focus on growth also means learning how to manage your mindset. The way you think shapes the actions you take and ultimately the results you get. If you have a fixed mindset, believing that your abilities are set in stone, you'll hit a wall. But if you develop a growth mindset, believing that you can always learn, adapt, and improve, you'll open yourself up to endless possibilities. A growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities and to approach life with curiosity and resilience. It's about embracing the idea that you are capable of far more than you think, and that every new skill you acquire makes you more capable of handling life's challenges. The people you surround yourself with also play a critical role in your growth. The average of the 5 people you spend the most time with is often a reflection of who you are and where you're headed. If you want to grow, you need to surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better. Find mentors who can show you the path forward and peers who are committed to growth just as much as you are. A community of growth-minded individuals will accelerate your own development and give you the support you need when times get tough. Finally, focus on growth means developing patience. Growth takes time. It's not about instant results or quick fixes. It's about steady, consistent effort over the long haul. The small investments you make today, whether in your skills, your relationships, or your business, will compound over time and lead to extraordinary results. But you must trust the process. Just like a tree doesn't grow overnight, your personal growth doesn't happen instantly. It happens one step at a time, and the more you commit to this process, the greater the results you will see in the future. When you focus on growth, you are focused on becoming the best version of yourself, and that is the only way to create a life of true fulfillment. Growth is the key to unlocking your potential, to achieving your goals, and to living a life that is not just successful but meaningful. So make growth your daily priority. Commit to it with passion, with persistence, and with a deep belief that every day is an opportunity to become better than you were yesterday. And as you do, you'll be amazed at the person you'll become and the life you'll create. Procrastination is one of the most dangerous thieves you will ever face. It doesn't rob you of money or possessions, but it robs you of time. And time, as we know, is the one thing that can never be regained. The problem with procrastination is that it's insidious. It sneaks up on you and convinces you that there's always a better time to start, that things can wait, that you can put it off until tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. Each time you delay, you lose a little more momentum, a little more confidence, and a little more time that could have been used to build the life you truly want. Understand this: procrastination is not just about not doing something. It's about putting off what matters most. It's about avoiding the difficult tasks, the ones that could lead you toward your goals because they seem too hard, too overwhelming, or too uncomfortable. But here's the catch: the longer you delay, the harder it becomes to start. You begin to feel more and more trapped by your own hesitation, and that weight starts to pile up, affecting your mindset and your progress. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to act. The best time to start is always now. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage, and it's rooted in fear of failure, fear of success, fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, or simply fear of change. But every time you let procrastination take control, you give that fear more power over you. You start to reinforce the belief that you're not capable of taking action, that your dreams are too big or too far out of reach. And let me tell you, fear is a liar. Fear only has power if you let it. When you take action, you face that fear head on, and you begin to prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you realize. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never feel fear or hesitation. They are the ones who feel it and act anyway. They've learned to push through procrastination and do what's necessary even when it's uncomfortable. You have to learn to do the same. Action creates momentum, and momentum is what drives you forward. The longer you wait to take that first step, the more daunting it becomes. But once you take that first step, the next one becomes easier, and the next one after that even easier. One of the most important ways to defeat procrastination is to break your tasks into smaller, manageable pieces. Often we procrastinate because a task seems too overwhelming. When you look at the whole mountain, it's hard to know where to begin. But when you break it down into smaller steps, it's no longer a mountain, it's a series of small hills that you can climb, one at a time. Focus on making progress every day, even if it's just a small step. That small step, repeated consistently, will eventually lead to big results. Another way to fight procrastination is to make your goals more concrete. When you set vague goals like "I want to be successful" or "I want to get in shape," it's easy to put them off because they lack a clear direction or timeline. But when you set specific, measurable goals with deadlines and clear action steps, you create a blueprint for success. You've turned your dreams into a plan, and now there's no excuse not to act. Accountability is another powerful tool in overcoming procrastination. When you commit to a goal or task in front of others, it becomes harder to back out. Share your goals with a mentor, a friend, or even an online community. Tell someone what you plan to accomplish and set deadlines that you know you will be held accountable for. Procrastination thrives in isolation and secrecy. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one else is watching. But when others are aware of your commitments, you'll be more likely to follow through. Most importantly, you need to change the way you think about time. Procrastination often stems from the mistaken belief that you have all the time in the world. You tell yourself, "I can do it tomorrow," but what you're really doing is trading today for tomorrow. The problem is, tomorrow never truly arrives. There's always another tomorrow. But today is real. And it's in today that you have the power to take action, to move forward, and to make a difference in your life. When you make a habit of taking action today, even in small ways, you develop a mindset of success. You stop letting procrastination control you and instead begin to control your own actions. You build the muscle of discipline and focus. You start to realize that the path to success is made up of 1,000 small decisions to act, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, and even when the task feels overwhelming. Every decision to take action, no matter how small, reinforces the habit of success. Procrastination doesn't just rob you of time, it robs you of progress, of confidence, and of the life you deserve. But the good news is you don't have to let it win. You have the power to choose to act. You have the power to break the cycle. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it will never come. The best time to start is always right now. Take that first step today. Do something, no matter how small, that moves you closer to your goals. And tomorrow, take another step. Every action you take will help you overcome procrastination and build the momentum you need to succeed. So stop waiting for someday. Stop putting things off. Start right now, and don't let procrastination rob you of the future you've always dreamed of. Every moment is a chance to move forward, to take control, and to build the life you deserve. Your time is too valuable to waste. The life you want is out there, waiting for you to take action. Go get it. In the rush of life, it's easy to get caught up in the constant push forward, chasing the next goal, meeting the next deadline, ticking off the next task on your list. But here's something you must understand if you want to truly grow and succeed. Progress is not just about doing more, it's about taking the time to reflect on what you've done and where you're headed. If you want to build a life of purpose and meaning, you must make time for reflection. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, you'll find yourself running in circles, always busy, but never truly moving forward. Reflection is the pause between action. It's the opportunity to step back, to evaluate where you are, and to adjust your course if needed. It's easy to get so consumed by the daily grind that you forget to look up and ask yourself, am I on the right path? Am I using my time wisely? What's working and what isn't? If you don't take time to reflect, you might be moving full speed ahead in the wrong direction, wasting energy on tasks that don't align with your true goals, or missing opportunities to improve and grow. The first thing reflection does is help you gain clarity. When you take the time to look back, you gain perspective. You see your progress more clearly, and you see your setbacks as learning experiences, not failures. Reflection allows you to see the bigger picture and understand how the small pieces fit together. It's in these moments of stillness that you can hear your own thoughts without the noise and distractions of the day. It's in reflection that you gain the clarity you need to make better decisions moving forward. Now, reflecting on your life doesn't just mean looking back at your successes. It's also about learning from your mistakes. We often don't like to revisit moments where we fell short, but the truth is, those are the moments that hold the greatest lessons. When you take the time to reflect, you can ask yourself what went wrong. What could I have done differently? How can I prevent this from happening again? These are the questions that will help you grow. Success is never just about doing things right. It's about learning how to recover, how to get back up, and how to improve for the next time. Without reflection, you miss the opportunity to extract those lessons and grow stronger. Reflection also allows you to realign your actions with your goals. Life moves fast, and it's easy to get off track. Maybe you started the week with a clear vision of what you wanted to accomplish, but by the end of it, you're overwhelmed by distractions, caught up in things that didn't matter as much as you thought. Taking the time to reflect gives you the space to ask yourself, what did I focus on this week? Was it what I said I would? Am I living in alignment with my values and long-term objectives? If not, this is your opportunity to course correct. It's your chance to reassess and make adjustments before you waste even more time chasing after the wrong things. Another powerful aspect of reflection is the ability to celebrate your progress. We are often so focused on the next challenge, the next task, that we forget to appreciate how far we've come. When was the last time you took a moment to pause and recognize your own hard work? When you reflect on your journey, you give yourself the space to acknowledge the small victories, the growth you've experienced, and the lessons you've learned along the way. This isn't about ego, it's about recognizing your effort and honoring your commitment to progress. When you celebrate these milestones, you give yourself the fuel to keep going, especially when the road gets tough. Reflection is also an opportunity to reconnect with your deeper purpose. When you're busy, it's easy to forget why you're doing what you're doing. You get so focused on the tasks at hand that you lose sight of the bigger vision. Taking time to reflect brings you back to your why. It reminds you of the dreams that drive you, the values that define you, and the legacy you want to create. When you have a clear sense of purpose, it makes the hard work easier. It gives meaning to every task, no matter how small. It helps you stay focused, motivated, and resilient even when challenges arise. It's important to note that reflection doesn't need to be a complicated or lengthy process. It can be as simple as taking 5 or 10 minutes each day to ask yourself a few key questions. At the end of the day, reflect on what went well, what could be improved, and what you learned. Or once a week, take an hour to look at the bigger picture, evaluate where you are with your goals, assess your personal growth, and realign your actions with your values. It doesn't matter how much time you spend, it's the habit of reflection that counts. The more regularly you make time to reflect, the more clarity you'll have in your life and the more focused you'll be on achieving your goals. Too many people live their lives on autopilot, drifting from one task to the next, never pausing long enough to evaluate the direction they're heading. Don't make that mistake. If you want to build something extraordinary, you need to stop and reflect. Make it a habit to check in with yourself, to evaluate your progress, to learn from your mistakes, and to realign with your deepest goals. This habit will not only help you avoid wasted time and effort, but will also provide you with the guidance you need to move forward with purpose and confidence. Remember, reflection is the key to personal growth. It's the space where clarity, wisdom, and direction are born. The more you make time for it, the more you will see yourself transform, not just in your results, but in the way you approach life and your goals. Take the time to reflect, and you'll be amazed at how much clearer your path becomes, how much more purposeful your actions are, and how much closer you get to the life you've always dreamed of.